breaking news concerning the chief executive of the SNP. The following statement has been issued on behalf of Peter Murrell. It reads, responsibility for the SNP's responses to media queries about our membership numbers lies with me as chief executive. While there was no intent to mislead, I accept that this has been the outcome. I have therefore decided to confirm my intention to step down as chief executive with immediate effect. I had not planned to confirm this decision until after the leadership election. However, as my future has become a distraction from the campaign, I have concluded that I should stand down now so the party can focus fully on issues about Scotland's future. The election contest is being run by the National Secretary, and I have had no role in it at any point. I'm very proud of what has been achieved in my time as Chief Executive and of the part I have played in securing the electoral success that the party has enjoyed over almost 2 decades. 14 national election wins is testament to the skills of the dedicated and talented HQ team that I have been privileged to lead. They give their all to the party and the independence cause, and I thank them for it. I have worked for independence all my life and will continue to do so, albeit in a different capacity, until it is achieved, and I do firmly believe that independence is now closer than ever. So just to recap that there, the chief executive of the SNP has offered his resignation. Our Scotland correspondent, Conor Gillies, was earlier telling us that that was possibly in the offing and that he was under pressure to tender that resignation or face a confidence vote in his leadership there. Let's bring in Conor Gillies. Tell us more about how this has been brought about, Conor.
This is an explosive move in the SNP and a major moment in the independence movement, but also for the Scottish National Party itself. Peter Murrell has been at the helm of the SNP, has been the chief executive for the SNP since 1999, and in the last few minutes has tendered his resignation after, I think it's fair to say, coming under sustained and robust scrutiny about that position he has held for such a long time. Peter Murrell is the husband of Nicola Sturgeon, the outgoing First Minister of Scotland, and he has been dealing with a set of crises over the course of the last couple of days, over the course of the last couple of weeks. There had been issues specifically around membership numbers within the SNP, which may not seem dramatic on the face of it. However, the SNP refused to allow the 3 candidates vying to replace Nicola Sturgeon to know exactly how many members would be voting as part of this contest, refused to tell journalists how many members would be voting, and as well refused to tell the Scottish public who ultimately will be dealing with whoever wins this contest as their First Minister. Earlier on this week, they bowed to pressure amid sustained issues around the integrity of the leadership process. Ash Regan, Kate Forbes, both writing to Peter Murrell and SNP headquarters, calling into question just exactly how this process was unfolding. And within days, those numbers became public, and it painted a bleak picture as to the state of the SNP at the moment. A drop of around 30,000 members in the last 18 months or so, 10,000 members gone in the space of the last few months after that almighty row around gender reforms that First Minister Nicola Sturgeon had to deal with. And of course, it put the SNP on a path of splits, high-profile splits, and this was a party known for its unity, known for its discipline, and that certainly started to disintegrate over the course of the last couple of weeks. But ultimately, it was the row around membership numbers. Along would say this resignation was a long time coming, but ultimately it's what led to this very quick demise from Peter Murrell, the chief executive, when eventually those numbers were revealed. But what added to the significant issues here is that just a number of weeks ago, the head of communications for the Scottish National Party was forced to issue a rebuttal to a newspaper report around the loss of 30,000 members. We now know that that journalist was true in that report, that the 30,000 drop, and also that the SNP headquarters had pushed a narrative to that newspaper to try and discredit that robust piece of journalism. And last night, the head of communication said that his position was untenable. And the question at that moment was, who had told the head of communications to issue that rebuttal to that newspaper? And ultimately, today came this confirmation that Peter Murrell has resigned as the SNP's chief executive. In that statement, he says, and let me just read a part of it, he said, "I had not planned to confirm this decision until after the leadership. However, as my future has become a distraction from the campaign, I have concluded that I should stand down now so the party can fully focus on the issues about Scotland's future." And just ultimately on those issues around the mess of the head of communications and how that particular issue was handled, he said, "While there was no intent to mislead, I accept that this has been the outcome, and I have therefore decided to confirm my intention to step down as chief executive with immediate effect." This is a huge moment for the Scottish National Party. Peter Murrell has been in post since 1999, and with the outgoing leadership of Nicola Sturgeon as First Minister, her husband, Peter Murrell, is now resigning. What follows will be a process to replace Peter Murrell and rebuild what many would see as lost credibility within the Scottish National Party in recent weeks.